How you afraid to drop a dime when you already dropped a dime? Got a wife at home, but you steady on my line. Talking about shorty, you remember when I grind slow? Did I really blow your mind though? Nah, you got me confused with your other booze. I've been peep game, so I never gave a cookie up. And that's why I got your wife on the line, man. And I hope she gets every single diamond ring. Niggas kill me, they put their fist up.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Hey everybody, hey Hussein, welcome. Just quickly have to adjust microphone so you guys can hear me better. Hopefully this is better now. Okay, so as slowly, hopefully, people will start joining our little stream, I will just do a couple of warmy uppy stuff. Do I actually have anything more warmy uppy ready here? Why not this one? Why not, since I have it here? Hey bud, how's it going? Hey Mr. Squirrels are sneaky. I'm good. I am actually, let me pop the window a bit. Today we had sunshine and I'm in the attic, and attics get warm when the sun is shining all day long. So we'll freshen a little bit. But yeah, good. I had a good working day. Tuesday and Thursday are kindergarten days. So I have a little bit more freedom to work on work stuff, and that's also why we transitioned to this day for and this early for live streaming. Andrew Maxime, hey Robert, are we doing vehicles today? Yeah, I was thinking spaceships. I'm gonna warm up with a quick car-y stuff, no idea what yet. And then we will switch to maybe spaceship, or we can also do whatever you guys want. I have about an hour from 3:30, right now here, it's 3:30, and I'm gonna go until 4:30. And then after that a little bit back to work, and then our son is back from kindergarten, and then yeah, so much for that. Squirrels are sneaky. Just finished a rough snowstorm, so I'll trade your warm attic. Ooh, were you outside? Did you have to be outside for the snowstorm? Also, I kind of forgot where you were from. Was it Austria? No, it wasn't Austria. Out of curiosity, where were you from? I miss snowstorm, although, yeah, okay, today it was quite cold here. And I was just talking about my wife that this level of cold was not even, it's like was the warmest winter days when I was growing up. And now we're like, oh, holy moly, it's so cold, because we're not used to the weather being this cold anymore. Yep. Magic All Young, will you do some research before sketching ideas? Usually I do, absolutely, but because I was working all day long and this is just not really thinking about what I'm doing stream, I'm just looking at some reference and getting some mild inspiration from them. So no research today. Because what I do research for is when I do videos, not live streams, because I don't know, it just seems to me that on live stream it's a little bit boring for you guys when I just go from website to website, reading up on stuff and looking at pictures. But that could be just me imagining stuff, but yeah, it just doesn't seem too entertaining to me personally. Hussein, can you explain about shading from imagination, complex forms, and also organics? What do you mean by shading from imagination? I usually just choose a light source and then try to do minimal shading. So shading from imagination, it always, you draw something, I'm gonna go simple form now. You have your cube and then you decide on a light source, goes this way, and then you know that you're gonna have one side that is quite in shadow, and then you have one side that is just a little bit in shadow. And then you can make this as complex or as simple as you want. From there on, it's up to you. But it's really just keeping that one thing in mind, you know? It's really nothing that is super complicated, at least not in my view. You just have to keep all the things inside. So this is going to be our shadowy side, and the more complex part is the throwing the shadows, right? But that is again something else. So I would say here you can add a bit of shadow there, but the rest of it is mostly not in shadow. Something like that. And of course you can have some very interesting, also more rounded shapes, and then you have a bit more fun to be had with shading. We can do a little bit here and a little bit there. It's really, and this just bringing back to those simple shapes. Screws, I'm Boston. Oh, okay, you are States guy. Okay, and yeah, I had to go out to do some shoveling, but luckily we didn't have a drive anywhere. I feel like we've had weirdly mild winters the past few years, but this year feels right. Yeah, I wish we would go back to the part where it feels right. Boston is up there, so you are. That's also pretty much continental weather, I imagine. Boston. I grew up with continental weather as well, which means we had nice hot summers and proper cold winters. So yeah, it would be nice to go back to that, but not for a while. I don't think so. Hello friends, I like your drawings. Thank you very much. I mean, environment mostly. Are lightning environment different because they're big? Not really. As the light, an environment is also composed of, well, you can break it down to simple shapes. If this is your environment, you can have a house there. Actually, you can have a street full of houses in different configurations. You can have a road, you can have even some sort of canyon going on there. Let's expand this a little bit. I imagine this would be the horizon line, then we have some more buildings there. It's the same thing. If you put your light source there, you're going to have shadow on one side, you're going to have a cast shadow, and these probably you're going to have little light sources in there, but not necessarily. And then whatever you have here, one side is going to be in shadow and the other side is going to be in light. Of course, you can make it as complicated or as simple as you want. You can have localized shadows, localized light sources, sorry, and then you have some light bouncing around, but that's next level. Once you control simple shadowing, then you can move on. Yeah, we have the nice range of all the seasons: cold winters, hot summers, wet springs, and gorgeous autumns, or at least we're supposed to. Yeah, that's what we had, and then they were gone. Everything was, you went from hot So now you go from hot summer to wet winter, and that's pretty much all there is. I feel like. Now we had a bit of frost, but yeah. Aye, aye, aye. Squirrels are sneaky. If I remember correctly, you also teach industrial design. How's that going? How's your students? Okay, let's pack some seating situation in here. I'm not even in camera view. You guys need to say something. This is better, yes. Not sure what kind of car we're dealing here with, but it is some sort of vehicle, that's for sure. Really not good paper for ink either, because it's a bit runny, but hey. I was just looking. So this is a pet peeve. I'm curious if any of you have this, or if you don't, if you're not bothered by it. But I wanted to buy a new set of fine liners for myself. But fine liners always come in like small, medium, larger, larger, larger. So from 0.5 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, so up to 8 millimeters sometimes. But I just want them all to be either 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter. I don't need all the different thicknesses. I don't know who actually wants different thicknesses all the time, because like one of them you're not going to use as much as the others anyway. So basically you're just gonna run out of your most used one within weeks, and you're going to always have around like the, I don't know, the 8 millimeter thickness one that you're never really using. So like who I guess they're making more money like this because you have to keep on rebuying the sets. You can buy like the cheap non-waterproof fine liners, but I want some nice waterproof fine liners, and if you buy them one by one, well, that can bankrupt the country. That is definitely not something that I want to do. I do teach ID sketching, good memory. And the spring semester is always interesting because at our school we tend to get a lot of other majors in the spring, so it's always fun to see. I guess that's a cliffhanger. I will have to wait for the continuation of that one. What kind of toasters and animation students? Toasters? Animation student designs, for instance. It's pretty fun. Animation student designs. I see. That can be fun, yeah, having people who are not really that connected to the field having to design stuff. There we go. That's a bit of a warm up. Word limit, yeah. I thought as much. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Let me put some text here. I want to see. Can we make this a little bit sharper? Pa-pa-pam. Configure video. Oh, focus was on auto. Oh no, I'm on the wrong camera. Guys, I'm on the wrong camera. What is this? Control. Okay, let's see. That looks better. All right. So are you strictly on drawing, or also actual design principles? Do you teach those as well? Are you still teaching too? If so, how's your semester going? No, sadly, with a baby, I don't have time because traveling takes up a lot of time as well, and I had to step back, especially first months when the baby was around. I was thinking that once summer comes and we're done with the spring semester, I will ask if they need somebody from autumn again to join them. But for now, I passed on the opportunities, which is sad because I really miss it. I forgot, or not that I forgot, but it's nice having students, seeing them week by week and seeing them progress or ask questions and whatnot. I do miss that. Light also is a little low. You're using only window light, right? Yeah, I am. I'm surprised that it's low because I think it's compensating. But wait, I can fix that. I can fix that. Configure video. Let's see. There you go. Apply. Okay. Now it should be nice and visible. Now you should see well enough. That makes sense. I have to get back into it. It's super nice for stealing your students' excitement and turning it into inspiration. Yeah? Yeah, it's also nice. You always have like the little bit lazy ones who don't really want to participate, draw along or whatever. But then when you get them interested in and they get active after all, it's nice seeing what they're actually capable of. And even if they're not that good, it's just nice seeing them being enthusiastic and trying to participate. Ooh, what is this? I specifically asked for 90s hip hop. Thank you very much. It's better. No, I don't like those. Let me bring back my test paper and let me try. I have a different fineliner. I have a different fineliner. So I was going for. Can I see it? Yeah. I was going for something like this. Then we would have cockpit there, exhaust port things there. Now the question is, do we still need wings? I do not know, but it would be nice to have. I like propellers now. And yeah, I only teach that one class. We had a full ID program, but only have time for the one class with my regular design day job. And then any spare time goes into my own projects, supposedly. I feel that. Like I have projects lying around that I really wanna get to, but I don't know, man. I don't know if who follows me on Instagram, but also like posting on Instagram, which I prided myself on doing daily, having daily sketches. Lately, not so much. Just it's hard to find energy for that. That sort of works. I like that. So if I take away the wing from there, and then we imagine it has a ball body there, and it would have maybe more in the back there, and then we can add a little one here as well. This seems to be working. Hossein, you must be a fun teacher, or are you serious when you teach? No, I'm not too serious. I did make a girl cry once, just because. So one thing about Dutch people, they are very direct, and my Dutch drawing instructor was one of the more direct people I ever knew, and he was pooping on people properly if their drawings weren't good. So I just was used to directly asking questions, and I once asked one of my students, like, do you know perspective? Do you understand perspective? And it's not as in trying to make fun of her. I was just trying to see if they got to that point in their curriculum where they learn perspective. And she didn't take it well. She thought maybe she felt under stress already, and I didn't do the best job in asking my question probably, and she thought that I was really not making fun of her but scolding her or something. I gave up on the daily posting a while back, although I've been thinking I wouldn't mind posting smaller quick sketches or even in progress sketches that I finish across multiple posts. Yeah, that sounds like fun. You want to do that, right? Like almost like a diary of how you get to your design. It's just I don't get to do that, man. Like I can show you, I had this, can you see it? I had this mech lying around here. All I have to do now is ink it and add some detail to it. But this has been here for a month now, and I feel guilty because it's an art exchange with somebody, and I'm just failing. I'm failing terribly at doing my part. Just more when I get some free time to do something, I'm really exhausted and just want to chill most of the time, sadly. Badger, hey, I took advice and joined an ID program last fall, and it's been going really well for me. It's so fun to pursue a career that you're really passionate about. Thank you, Robert. Oh, I am very happy that you're enjoying it. It's very, very fun to hear. It can go the other way. I had people with me who started ID and it was just not interesting enough for them, I guess. And then they switched to like hardcore engineering and they enjoy that more. But I'm happy that you're enjoying it, man. I'm happy that you're getting something out of it. Okay, where are we? Let's see. I once had a professor ask a friend, "Have you drawn before?" And it was hilariously brutal. Yeah, this was something similar, I guess. All right. Let's see how we're doing with this cockpit. I'm trying something Dragon Ball Z E, very simple, not really realistic here. I've been also trying to step a little bit away from my industrial design style, do things a bit more illustratory, just being more looser, having more wriggly lines, not caring that much about perfect line control, which is not easy. I get that, it's hard to pick them back up and work on them more. Maybe the IG progress post would help encourage you to finish it though. Like if people are excited to see it. Yeah, I mean that is a good approach. If I just have to get over my tiredness and my, well, I don't want to say laziness, but it could be that at this point as well. I don't know why a spacecraft or an aircraft or whatever this is would need small headlights, but this one has it. Hussein, do you have tutorial about scale in perspective, you know, scale of props, people and etc. to each other? I do have one. If you go to ArtStation, there was ArtStation Learn for a while, and I have sort of a workshop video on perspective there. I think it's called Getting Some Perspective. So if you Google for Getting Some Perspective, ArtStation Robert Kiss, I think you should come across it. And there I do talk about scale because I'm drawing a cityscape, like a minor cityscape. It's hard to feel like you have to switch styles. I have a hard time letting go of the precision and letting things flow loosely, so sometimes my characters feel too stiff. Yeah, I get it. I got this comment from, so lately I've been trying this more wriggly style and just trying to have fun, and I got comments from some character designer friends of mine like, oh, nice to see that you're loosening up and your drawings are not so stiff, which is like, on one hand, oh, nice, thank you, but on the other hand, ouch. I mean, I like industrial design. I don't mean them to be stiff, but I guess that comes a little bit with the style, right? But also, I don't know if you have it. I don't know how much character stuff you draw, Squirrel, but every now and then I get back into drawing characters, or I want to draw a character, or there's a challenge on my Discord. If somebody's there, feel free to check it out and join it, where I want to draw a character, and I just, oh wow, yeah, I have not drawn characters forever, and it shows that I'm not specialized in drawing characters because this looks horrible. So we have a challenge running right now on our Discord with a theme of Brazilian carnival, and I just wanted to do a study of ladies in their very colorful and interesting dresses, and wow, looks very bad. I can tell you what I drew there looks very, very bad. I have that as well sometimes when I have to go somewhere with a metro, because metro is the most times when I remember to take my sketchbook with me, and then I have 10 minutes and oh, let me do some quick sketches of people, and I'm like, oh wow, oh yeah, okay, clearly I haven't drawn people in a long time. let's bring a little bit of mechanical wing articulation in here. Probably not a smart idea to articulate your wings, but I need a little bit of mechanical drawing. And now it's less hot, so we can close the window. Same squirrel about scale. So what would you like to know about scale? Do you have to learn about scale in perspective? Where is it going wrong? Because there's many things that you can talk about scale, and maybe you know the basics. So I don't want to talk about the basics if you know those already. So what is causing you troubles and turbulations? I don't know what the saying is. Okay, so we have our turbine there, which is probably not called a turbine. It's probably called something else. Then we would have the other propeller there. Your paper is low. Oh yeah, sorry. When something is far from you but bigger in scale. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. I want to finish this one. Okay. Do I have some A4 paper? Give me a second. I have some A4 paper lying around somewhere. Not here. Oh yeah, there. I should have A4 paper here. Silly me. I reorganized and I forgot. Okay. Scale. Cheap fine liner and scale. Okay. So the easiest, we go back to the horizon line. Oh, somebody's fine liner is empty. Into the trash you go. I need a new fine liner. I need a new fine liner. I need a liner that is fine. Fine liner that is fine and liner. Let's see if this is a liner that is finer. Okay. So we have the Arteza pens. Alright, this one will work. Before I got into ID, I was a cartoonist and illustrator for 7+ years, but all of my co-workers used to tell me I draw like a surgeon because of my precise lines, so I guess I had a hard time letting things loosen up. Hopeless technical machine. I mean, that's not bad, right? I have a question, might be kind of dumb. Is holding a pen effect on drawing? I can't draw the ellipses quite well. I don't think so. I saw people who held their pen something like this when they, not necessarily drawing but writing. So I don't think so. For ellipses you just need to do a lot of exercises, and sooner or later it will work. Okay. Let me quickly go back to perspective. So if you have, this is our guy. He's standing here. And this is a lamppost with Orwellian camera surveillance on it. Okay, so if we have our vanishing point here, obviously what we're going to do, let me just change this up, draw lines from here, from both of these ends. So we know as we go backwards, everything's gonna get smaller. Do you want to know how smaller? An easy trick for that is using a square. So if your person here fits in a square, you get the center point of it. From there you draw a line to the vanishing point again, and then you just make sure to go from this A, B, C, D, like these are the four corners of the square, and you go from air through this cutting through this cutting point, and then you go from C through that cutting point. And then this is our next square, a little bit smaller, and then we do again from B, we go through this cutting point, and then from D through that cutting point, and then you just connect them again, and then you keep on doing these until you get closer and closer to the vanishing point. And of course I'm very loosey-goosey in here. You can do this much more precise, like obviously this should have gone somewhere there. Squirrel is probably tearing out his hair, how horribly I'm doing here. But as you can see, things are getting smaller and smaller. So the same person here would be probably only this tall, and then here he would be even shorter, and this goes back. And then you can see the same thing happens with the, what's it called, the Orwellian surveillance thing. Here it becomes a bit smaller, and here it becomes even smaller. So this is the basic methodology of how this works. And once again, the easiest way for this is if you have a square and it goes into that vanishing point, you can move this square down the line. Now, I like to do this, but it's not necessary, but from this point, if you draw a line into the vanishing point, that is not too bad. Then you can keep on rebuilding this square, right? And just keep on pushing it and pushing it. Closer and closer to that vanishing point. So yeah, this is what I would do. This is what I suggest for, or how I handle scale and perspective. Of course, if you have an image and you have a robot here, because why not have a robot? Square robot. Then further back the same robot, you decide for yourself how small or how big it is, and then that sort of tells you from here on. You can do yourself. If you say a human here is this big, then you know that a human here is going to be around that big. And then from there you can also sort of relate everything to the side of the paper. If you say this is where my horizon line is going to be, so I'm going to have some buildings here and maybe some trees, then you know that your human shrunk from this size to this size. So if you go further along, your human is going to be smaller. So humans there are going to be even smaller, and back there they might be not visible. So it's something that you can always relate to somewhere. Renzo, it's crazy to me how you can sketch a car so quick and just detail it with minutes, and I'm struggling to draw wheels, let alone my line weight. It's just drawing them for a long time, man. It's just a bit of perspective, patience and time, and you will do the same thing, man. It's really not hard. A thing on ellipses. I know I said this in many videos, and it sounds boring, but if you just do these exercises with the ellipses, you will get sort of a muscle memory that will make your ellipses look better and better. And you can see here as well that my ellipses are not perfect, and I have several lines. So if I say that this would be the axis of my car, or the axis of the wheels of my car, and then one ellipse goes here. And I have a whole bunch of loose lines, but I just know which lines to make a little bit stronger. And with that, I trick the eye only to look at the lines that matter. So in the end, it doesn't matter that I have a relatively messy wheel, because I'm just going to strengthen the lines that are important to me, and everything else doesn't matter. So there you go, two wheels of a car, and the rest you just fill up with whatever. I'm not a car drawing person, so don't expect nice cars from me, but yeah, something like that. Alright, back to our bubbly spaceship. Another question. My angles in perspective sometimes turn out wrong in perspective. What are strong and dramatic? They turn out flat. For that you just have to do a lot of angle exercises just so you understand what is the correct perspective. And you have to look at a lot of like movies and drawings that are at dramatic angles and see what the artist does there and how they do it, and try and imitate that. Like the one, I think, for perspective, one of the most important things to learn is how to draw perspective without the whole horizon line and drawing straight lines all the way to the horizon line. What's the time? Oh, still some time. Skylix, do you have a move? Do you have to move a hold arm while drawing ellipses? I recommend always moving your whole arm. Like if you watch one of my industrial design fundamental videos, like one of the first things that I say, and one of the first things they just teach you in industrial design, where is the camera, to never just draw from your wrist. Always draw from your shoulder. So not even your arm, because elbow. If you draw from an elbow, that's pretty much a perfect circle. So you can draw circles, but not straight lines. With straight line, your whole this and this has to move equally. And then for ellipses, also like this, the elbow describes the same circle as my hand if I want to draw ellipses. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Renzo, one thing as well, my proportions are always messed up as well, rather too squashed or too long. It's so annoying with objects, cars, etc. Well, that also happens with familiarity. The more you draw objects, the more you will become familiar with them. So my car proportions are always messed up because I am not that familiar with cars. I don't draw that many cars. During my studies, we had a couple of people who were specialized on car sketching, automotive sketching, and I just never understood. They just looked at my car and they were like, oh yeah, look at this, here your proportions are off, this you have to make shorter and this you have to make longer and blah 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 blah. And I just didn't see that because I didn't draw as many cars as they have. So that is something that comes with experience. So just draw something and then analyze it for yourself. Pay attention. What is too big, what is too small, and adjust it. See what sort of steps you have to do. And then next time you're drawing something, keep in mind, okay, wait, what did I mess up last time? Let's see. Is it okay now? Or even before you start drawing, just pay attention that you're drawing it correctly. Squirrel, I find it super useful to draw the overall box that your object fit into and then draw your object. When stuff feels too squished or too stretched, you need to start by adjusting the overall box first. Yes, that is correct. Do you recommend a pen display like XP Pen to someone? iPad Pro? Is Photoshop really necessary? No, I don't recommend any. Like, you use whatever you feel most comfortable with, or that can get the job done for you. And then as to what Squirrel said, here, let's be cheap and just use the other side. Let me use the phone. Let's draw a Ferrari. Images. There we go. Rotate. Can we just, there we go. Okay, so one thing that I completely 100% agree with Squirrel is I also always draw squares. So I look at this Ferrari and I try to imagine the square that it is in. So I look at it, I use my pen for measurement. So from this point to my fingers is the length of the car, something like this. And then let's see what the height is. Phone, I shouldn't have done the phone. It is about this high, and if I look at this, it's like 1/3. So it doesn't matter what box I draw. Like, this is the box. The height will be 1/3 of this length. So this length comes there. That's the height. I sort of close it there, and then so I only drew here until this corner, and if I look at that distance there, that would be maybe 1/9, 1/8, doesn't matter. But my Ferrari is in this box. And then you can look again. Okay, so if we look at thirds, 1/3 goes until there, until there, until there. Okay, so what's here? This third is where my sort of door ends, and the wheel goes until the half of the third. So this is where my wheel is. I also, what I can do is also split this into halves. So let's see, the top is this long. If I look at the back, it's like 1/3. 1/3 is how high the car is. And I would say the wheel is just a bit bigger than half, or under half. So this would be my back wheel. Then if we said third. Man, this is, I guess, why people don't use phones. So it was third, and third. So the wheel starts here and ends there, my front wheel. Make sure that they sort of in the same place, something like that. And then you continue with this sort of measurements to see what's where. So we can see that our greenhouse is somewhere here. It starts somewhere there and then goes down. Maybe I think I'm making the greenhouse a bit too big right now. So you can see also that my proportions are immediately maybe a little bit off as well. So this is there. Yeah, they're way off. So I messed something up as well. I think this height, because this goes a bit more like that, and that messed me up. But okay. Yeah, I made the wheels too big. I see that now. So you see how easy it is to make mistakes here. Let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, this is it. I found it now. So this starts there. There we go. And then the cockpit goes a bit like that. Yeah, I switched up the angle a little bit, but that is fixable in the end. Go something like that. And this is also a reason why I love drawing boxy cars, because boxy cars are much easier to put into boxes. But I think we managed to mostly salvage the situation here. Mostly. But then if you want, like now you know this, and then you can take this proportioned box, and technically you should be able to replicate your Ferrari or your car. I have no idea what the back of this Ferrari looks like now, honestly, but technically you should be able to replicate your Ferrari just from the other direction. But blah blah blah. Anyways, that's it. Let me see. I didn't follow the text. Proportions, I mean, when I would draw a car and they come out too long or whatever, it's because I needed to start by looking at the proportion holistically first and all that. I think for drawing people in boxes, subdivision should follow more accurately. Hey, Matze! I like this arrangement where I try to explain something terribly and then Robert sketches it even worse. I would say everything is worse I did, man. For me, Loomis method for drawing people in perspective using flats and landmark work. But yeah, that, I mean, I used Loomis as well. That was pretty much Loomis. I want to know if, like, I draw a wheel, but it have a small detail that I have to draw ellipse in it to do. I still have to use a hold arm to draw it, because for me it's pretty. Look, if your wheel is this small and you want to draw an ellipse, okay, you don't always, but I still have my whole arm, even at this size. I use my whole arm. So of course, if I'm gonna draw an ellipse this small, yeah, I'm not gonna use my whole arm for ellipses that small. But everything this size and that size, I use my whole arm. I'm always adjusting as I draw, because sometimes the box is hard to sort out from the beginning, especially with complex forms like sleek cars. Yeah, and especially rounded stuff like this. Not my strength. Have you seen Sonic 3? No, I have not. I have not really been to the cinema too often over the last 6 months, I can tell you that. Alright, let's see, do we want to do anything here? Actually, I think my ink dried, so we can remove... Oh no, not really, we can't remove that well. Okay, there we go. Let's remove some of the underdrawing. Where is my ink pen? Let's add some details. Not necessarily reasonable, but it's always good to have a bit of extra stuff. I would think this thing does a lot of water landings, so I'm gonna add a bit more damaged looking stuff here and there. And actually we can make this a bit more damaged as well. First let's indicate the rounding of this fin. And I can rough up a little bit this way to straight line. That's some dark areas. Let's push it back. I mean, we still can go to cinema, Matze. I'm planning on maybe this Friday watching Captain America, so I will be disappointed because I like disappointing myself. It's just, yeah, we have to really plan ahead. Thank God my wife's mom lives not so far, and then every now and then she can babysit. So it is doable, it's just, it's a lot of effort. Okay, let's just, I like making it like super used looking now, just a bunch of scratches and little tidbits and irregularities here and there. Well, welcome, Hussein. Squirrel, I can absolutely see Bulma piloting that thing while being chased by a T-Rex and Goku flying behind in the cloud to close the gap. That is good. That's what I was going for. Happy to hear that. All right. Let's, if it is a capsule thing, let's maybe give it a number as well. Like, let's say this is a 5. Whatever it is. It shows that I've been working a lot digitally lately because I wanted to zoom in so I can draw the 5 easier. Clearly that's not gonna happen. Okay, there we go. That's a bit, we need a bit more contrast, so we need a bit dark areas here and there. And now I had these section lines here, they sort of get lost in all the muck down there. Okay, I think we got a little bit of smudge and smear here, but hey, that's fine, that happens. I am semi-happy with that. You know, you're a sketching god when you can zoom in on paper, that next level skill. Yes, I wish I could do that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think I will call it for today. Squirrel, was nice having you in the chat and helping me along with industrial design communication. Hopefully we'll be back next Tuesday. Until then, keep up the sketching. Do not like I do, but like I say, so sketch more than I do. And yeah, see you lovely folks next time around. And keep those questions coming because I enjoy answering them. If I can. If I can't, we have Squirrel in the chat and he can help out as well. Alright, ladies and gents, have a good time.